Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, October 17, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Arizona Cardinals vs Cleveland Browns. Arizona is 6th in the NFL in points allowed with an average of 19.0 per game. Arizona is allowing an average of 353.5 yards per game with 139.0 yards rushing and 214.5 yards passing per game. Opposing offenses are averaging 5.4 yards rushing and 5.8 yards per play against the Cardinals' defense. Arizona's defensive leaders are safety Buddy Baker with a team-high 36 tackles, Chandler Jones with a team-best 5.0 quarterback sacks, and quarterback Byron Murphy Jr. with 3 interceptions. Cleveland is 11th in points allowed with an average of 22.8 points per game. The Browns are allowing an average of 298.8 yards per game with 75.6 yards per game rushing and 223.2 yards per game passing. The Browns are allowing opposing offenses to average only 3.4 yards per carry and 5.1 yards per play. Cleveland's defensive leaders are linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and Myles Garrett with 21 tackles each, Garrett with 7.0 quarterback sacks, and quarterback Greedy Williams and linebacker Malcolm Smith each with 1 interception. Our first betting advice is to pick Cardinals, plus 2.5. Defensively, the Browns rank 11th in the league in points allowed per game, and their pass rush has been elite, ranking 3rd in the league in sacks per game. With the uncertainty for many of Arizona's offensive stars, Cleveland's ability to get after the quarterback will be a massive key to victory. Whether it's Murray or a backup at quarterback for the Cardinals, not allowing him to remain comfortable in the pocket will be crucial. Myles Garrett remains the leader of the defense, with a team-high 21 tackles on the season and 7 sacks as well, good for first in the NFL. The secondary continues to be a work in progress, which is problematic considering the wide receiver core that they could see on Sunday, but as long as Garrett and company are getting to the quarterback, the secondary shouldn't be put in too many uncomfortable situations. Our second betting advice is to pick over 54. Las Vegas Raiders vs Denver Broncos. The Raiders opened the season with wins over the Ravens, Steelers, and Dolphins but lost to the Chargers 28-14 in Week 4 and dropped a game to the poor Chicago Bears squad led by a rookie quarterback with a knee injury. The Raiders' defense allowed the Bears multiple long scoring drives of more than 60 yards and let the Bears convert several long third-down plays. The defense could not stop the run or the pass effectively all day and surrendered almost 150 yards rushing to a Chicago team missing the bell cow running back David Montgomery. The Raiders' offense was even worse than the defense. For the second week in a row, they did not score a touchdown until the second half. They could not establish the run, and a passing offense that had led the league looked awful. Quarterback Derek Carr missed several throws, and when he hit the receiver with the ball, they often dropped it for an incompletion. They made multiple critical missteps in the red zone, including racking up offensive penalties. In all, the Raiders recorded 10 penalties for 82 yards. The Raiders' offensive line is in flux, and they just moved the rookie first-round draft pick from tackle to guard to try to shore up the pass blocking, but it did not produce positive results. The defensive backfield was missing multiple starters with injuries, and it showed. Our first betting advice is to pick Broncos, minus 3.5. Teddy Bridgewater has already proven to be a smart choice at quarterback through the first 5 games. While he only has 7 touchdowns, his 1 interception has helped to keep control of possession, and if nothing else, he'll continue to give the offense a good chance to stay on the field. Melvin Gordon III has looked like a natural early on, with rookie Javonte Williams getting more and more reps of late. The two combined for over 100 yards on the ground per game, and given how often they've both been involved in the passing game as well, creates a little flair surrounding this offense play calling. Our second betting advice is to pick under 44.5. Quick reminder, BetUS is a platform that offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, BetUS allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join BetUS now using our link down below and get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on the sportsbook after you open an account and deposit using our link and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES. Ezekiel Elliott finished with more than 100 yards in consecutive games for the first time since 3 straight in 2019, finishing with 110 yards on 21 carries, the final one a punctuating 13-yard scoring run in the fourth quarter. It was a dazzling offensive effort for Dallas, and they'll be facing a Patriots team that gave up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns to a rookie last week. Coach Bill Belichick continued his success against rookie quarterbacks, improving to 23-6 in those games. Yet, Davis Mills did manage to throw for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns, something that was surely brought up this week during practice. New England linebacker Matt Judon had 2 sacks Sunday to give him 6.5 this season, which is the most in franchise history through 5 games. He's the first Patriots player to have a sack in 4 games in a row since Jamie Collins and Chase Winovich both did it in 2019. He and the rest of the D will have their hands full with an elite Dallas O. Our first betting advice is to pick New England Patriots, +3. The Patriots defense needs to make this game as ugly as they made it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a couple of weeks ago. Granted, that game against the Bucs had a personal element to it, with Tom Brady returning to Foxborough, but the defense needs to find a way to channel that same energy against the Cowboys on Sunday. It'll be a Herculean challenge for the unit that looked sloppy against the Texans last week. Dallas is averaging the second most total yards in the league behind the Baltimore Ravens. Our second betting advice is to pick under 50.5. Seattle Seahawks vs Pittsburgh Steelers. Seattle's defensive effort has been abysmal this year, a far cry from the Legion of Boom days. Seattle has allowed at least 450 yards in each of its past 4 games, tying an NFL record. If I had to pinpoint one thing, it's that early on we got in our way a lot, linebacker Bobby Wagner said to AP reporters on Wednesday. Whether it's penalties, whether it's mistakes and miscommunications, and so that's probably the biggest thing. If we can fix those things, we have the talent, and we have the people, to be a great defense. Considering the unknown of having Smith under center for a full game, the Seahawks could use the boost of running back Chris Carson returning, after missing last week with a neck issue. Our first betting advice is to pick Pittsburgh Steelers, -5. Seattle's offensive front has struggled to keep Russell Wilson upright in the pocket. You can only imagine how hard it'll be to keep Geno Smith out of trouble. Granted, Smith has the ability to escape with his legs as well, but the instincts and playmaking abilities aren't the same. You have to admire his heart for what he did against the Rams last week, but there are clearly levels to this. Our second betting advice is to pick under 42.5.